Shit live? Yeah. It is. How's the audio? Let's see. Let's see.
Investing is important because it's the only way you are going to be able to be rich and wealthy for your family. We can close the wealth gap by working together.
Market Monday is the biggest investment show ever.
My life has literally changed since watching you right here.
When you can make people money, you can add value. They're going to be forever indebted to you.
I promise you this year, I'm going to make up even more money.
Disclaimer, do your own research. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with, or independently research and verify any information that you find on our show and wish to rely upon for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. Let's build our knowledge, our community, and our brokerage accounts. Love is love.
Love is love. Happy Monday. How you doing?
Love is love. We good, man. How you feeling? How you feeling? Welcome back. It is first Monday of July, man. July 6th. Shout out to all the cancers out there. It is a bit rainy here in New York. We came off of a heat wave and now it's like a storm that is just won't go away. So we blessed to be here though, man. How you feeling?
Blessed, highly favored. Charlemagne. I'm great though. I had a great fourth. Happy to be back here. Shawty, how are you feeling? I know there are no flamingos in New York, but there was where you were. How you, my brother?
Perhaps we brought him back.
I'm good, man. Back. Shout out to the good people of Aruba. Was out there for a little bit. But I'm back, man. You know, we getting ready for Invest Fest. Got a lot going on. Big week for us. We are live episode on Wednesday of Blackout for you live warriors out there.
Why does that matter so much? Like, walk me through the content strategy.
Oh man.
Are you guys live today? Bro,
This
run
is
the
live.
information down.
This is live.
It will be.
Is your account live?
Alive.
That's what matters, for real.
Facts.
But we here, live.
Or not.
We here. Blackout will be live on Wednesday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that means we can answer questions from the audience, real time pivot in questions if we need to. It's gonna be fun.
Let me
It's gonna be
see.
fun. 9 o'clock Wednesday, very important. Thursday at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we got a dope entrepreneur, Sway the Pro. Man, she's revolutionized the salon suite business. When you're talking about, you know, entrepreneur ATL, salon suite, she's going to be at Invest Fest. She put together a whole panel for Invest Fest, but this is heavy in the salon suite business. When you're talking about eyebrows, when you're talking about nails, when you're talking about hair, male and female hair, by the way, makeup. The salon suite, we covered this twice already. This is the third time. Because each time that we've covered it, it's been a different spin on it and a different take. Her take is different from the last person that we had. Jay Majors was the last person. He owns the real estate, it's a real estate play. Her thing is she leases. Sometimes she leases to own the property. Sometimes she just leases.
What the fuck are you talking about?
It's a whole business model how she handles it. 6 months free. She said she gets 6 months free out the deal sometimes. No rent. No rent. She said, "Oh, it's so interesting."
Yeah, her model is interesting, but it's effective, and she's been able to scale it. I think that'd be one of the things that we forget about business is that we got it up and running. We're doing well. We're making money. Can you scale? And she's been able to do that. I think that's dope. Like when you compare and contrast some of the past episodes in this space and how everybody does business differently, because you can take that as a gumbo soup and say, all right, well, I'm gonna take a little piece of each of them and create my own path. So this is definitely gonna be one of the ones that you should be taking notes, but figuring out a way to create your own path to scale.
Yes, sir.
Chimera.
Check it out. For sure. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got a lot to talk about in the Black House. So make sure you tap in the Black House. A few more announcements we'll make later on in the show. Ian, any announcements?
If you want to get rich from the market, go to eaninvest.com. I've been dropping clips in Telegram from our stock club call, but the replay will be out this week. Prices will be out this week as well. If I made you money, please put us in chat. Red Panda. Let me get some Red Pandas in chat and let's have an amazing show. Oh, and shout out to my guy Dave Shan's social proof. Oh, me and Shotty kill shit on stage. Shout out to Jessica, Troy, BBG.
Yeah, shout out to Dave, man. That was a good event.
It's a great event.
I was, we've been watching him on social media. Obviously, we know him in real life, but to watch him promote the event, to see the turnout that he had, I thought that was really dope, man. So, shout out to him and his entire team. We know what it is to put on an event, so we know that lead up and actually being there and executing it, and then having the next day to say, all right, we got it done. How we looking for next year, man? So, shout out to him. That was pretty dope.
Yes, sir.
And happy birthday to my nephew, man. He's officially a teenager. Xavier, happy birthday, my boy.
Happy
Hey,
birthday.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Okay. Let's get it. Investment fact of the week.
It's a few of them. Number one, on a 5-year rolling basis, U.S. stocks have outperformed international stocks.
I don't know what's going on with my.
Number two, July on average is up 3.2% for the month of July. So for everyone who's worried, we talked about it earlier.
I don't know what's going
Everyone
on
who
with
wants to be a bear,
my
and short the
Twitch
market,
sign.
this not a month to do it. July is usually really good. Number three, Google is projected to double to $247 billion in profit in the next 3 years. The Russell 2000 climbed 22% in the first 6 months of the year.
Amazon Prime
Ticker
member,
is
you can get $0 delivery fees on
SMH was up 2%
Go
today.
to
Amazon
Amazon.com/promo.
lost 4,800
Activate your
jobs
free
and
Promo
post
Plus
overtime
membership
hiring.
and start ordering with
Cost
$0 delivery fees on Promo.
$303,000 to raise
Top
one child
restaurants to your
in
local
the United
faves.
States.
Eligible orders
To
only.
all of you dads who get on the post and say, it doesn't cost that much.
Let's keep this shit right here. Let's keep this shit.
Like, unless you are in Iowa or certain parts of Arkansas.
Just now, you're probably overpaying for your hotel. That's right.
And one of the biggest businesses that private equity is starting to invest in child care.
Fill up your lineup with Domino's
This is
Best
part of the
Deal
reason why
Ever.
we'll
Just
talk about
$9.99,
having
get
a black
easy
out.
to
Because
pick.
that's something that I want to click. When I first had Xander, remember I think it was 115. To see that like a balloon from 115 to 303, by the time our kids have kids, that number would be a half a ticket. Invest for the long term.
Okay. That was a lot of facts right there, man.
Real quick.
All of them good.
Good one, yeah.
I saw an interesting fact about, and I'm glad you brought up SMH and SOX because we've been seeing kind of volatility in the semiconductor space, definitely in the memory space. But SOX,
I don't know why I
and
can't sign
SMH
into
have
the,
traded between 2.5% to 4%
Twitch
over
on
the
that.
past 10 days, both negative and positive. And so for newcomers to that, what does that speak to? Yes, volatility, but it also means that there's consolidation. If something goes up 2%, down 2%, up 2%. So you're starting to see that sideways pattern of consolidation, which means, number one, is it a retest or is it a reset? Right? Are we seeing a profit taking or are we seeing something that's going to be more drastic? I think this is going to be a good week in determining what we're looking at in this really short term volatility of the past. I'd say 3 or 4 weeks. Obviously, with Samsung reporting, actually in the next half hour, we got TSM and ASML next week, and then we'll talk about this behind this idea on this week. A very big week to see where this consolidation is headed. Can we be consolidating and now having an uptrend, or will we consolidate a little bit more throughout the summer?
Steve, what's the name about reporting the facts and taking care of the
I
family?
don't know what my shit like.
I'll put the
Oh, we live, man.
We live. I'll put the money away from my child. Sorry about that. Let me help you. I love you dearly from the bottom of my
I
heart.
don't know why I can't sign in. On here, it's saying something about a browser.
Depths of my heart. I love it.
Number two. King number. What does that mean when you have the number two next to it? Crown number two.
I think I'm not sure what that means. It's an XP thing. Does that mean that they like every time that they come
Oh, okay.
in? Yeah.
Streaming on my phone there.
Yeah, that's love. Oh, and shout out to Crystal. Last week I reported she started with 10,000, grew her account to 350,000 from investing into the market long term. You can get big gains from holding long term without futures and options. Now, if you put the futures and the options with it in combination, infinite options. So, I think that's pretty dope.
Okay. Shout out to all
What's
the
that?
community. Shout out to the
Sasha
community.
Digital? Shout out to you.
I will say this before we go on to the next topic. Invest Fest this year, Thursday, we're doing something that's never been done before. We're doing a all-day Invest Fest for the youth, and it's going to be schools. I think how many schools?
Right now we have 6 schools. We have over 500 students from New York and the Atlanta greater region. We've been doing it for the past 5 years of bringing kids down from New York and kind of like saying we could just show them the possibilities and almost forgetting that we're in a major city that has plenty of high schools and plenty of young people that are willing to learn and have access to information at a higher rate when you're talking about all the entrepreneurs that are in the city of Atlanta. And so we're bringing Atlanta City schools this year as well. We had some talks about bringing some other cities, which I'm sure we'll do in the future. But I'm excited for it, man. This is, people have been asking for it. And they, you know, we used to get the question, can my kids come to Invest Fest? So here comes your answer. We're starting out here with the high school students, and it's going to be a full day of programming that's catered directly to and for them. It's going to be incredible. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of cater, so we're going to leave some open spots too for people that, if your child does not actually go to one of these schools, we'll leave some spots open for kids that should go to this outside of just the schools that are going as a collective unit. But Thursday, that's the opening. That's August. What is that?
August 6th.
6th?
Yep, August 6th.
August 6th. Now it's 300 kids, 400 kids.
We got 500 right now.
500. So here's an opportunity for those on in Atlanta. You're interested? We are looking for a caterer. We're looking for a caterer. We're not being crazy. These are high school kids. You know, lunch. Lunch is not. We're not putting in a 5-star dinner. But you know, we just need to cater lunch. We respect the time, so obviously it's not. We don't expect anybody to do it for free. But a discount would be appreciated, and we can use the barter system. You know, we could definitely highlight your business. Look, this is an opportunity. We can figure it out. We can figure it out. It's mutually. So this is not paid. We're not getting paid for this. This is these kids are free. They're coming for free. So we could figure out something that's mutually beneficial to a business owner in the greater Atlanta area. If you're interested in catering a lunch for high school students that's learning about finance on that Thursday. If you are interested, serious inquiries only. Please be in
Ellis Cart, AI, Meltdown. Everybody calling in a
He's in
Meltdown.
our bio. Link in bio.
SK Hynix.
To Instagram, if you go on our bio,
IPO.
he's the COO. His name is Abdullah. All you gotta do is go to the bio. He's tagged in the bio.
And better if you're a Red Panda, so shoot me a message if you are. I'll connect you, get you a highlight, talk about you on stage, best of the kids.
And we got some more announcements. P and I had a conversation. So as we get closer to the event, we'll let go of some of the announcements that we have in store for our young adults. We appreciate you, my brother.
Only the family.
Yeah, so
You
if
know
you're
the kids.
interested, so if you're interested, no baloney though. You can't.
No bologna, no spinach, no
Hey,
sponge.
bologna excuse out.
Like, if my kid can't eat it, I'm not gonna let it. If you need some subsidies, I'm feeling like hey Gershner, if you need some subsidies, I got you. I'll add
That's
you.
a fact. No baloney, please.
Yeah. Nope.
Ah,
You gotta get
chicken.
know where to play and import the good food for the kids.
Yeah, please, please.
Yeah, don't feed the kids anything you wouldn't feed yourself. A lot of these people are eating bologna themselves, so that's another story.
Yeah.
So about that.
Bologna with the mustard sandwich.
We'll talk about that later on.
Most nights ate sleep
Alright,
for dinner.
so yeah, if you're interested, hit up AB valid_ASO, and yeah, you know, hey look, there was a water company at one point in time that actually gave out free water at Invest Fest. they turned out to be the official water sponsor of InvestFest.
It's a fact.
And now, and we had an episode with them. You never know how these mutual, you never know.
That's a fact.
These things come.
Can I be honest? The best way to get in the door is by doing it for free. Like, even to this day, we do it. This is my favorite about it. Results. I talked about it at Chance Thing, but if you really want to break out, give the result in advance. Yes, it may cost you a little bit up front, but to build a relationship, get in the door, now you're first on the draft board.
That's a fact.
It
That's
makes
a
a
fact.
world of difference.
That's a fact. Yeah, just go. Yeah, our sprinter guy.
Official transportation.
I used him just to get from the airport just now.
Yeah.
He how he got in with us is he gave us the sprinter for the first year for free. Now he's the official transportation. Anywhere in the world that we go, he's the official transportation guy that we use. So look, sometimes in life you gotta, it's one of these things, man. Relationships.
And I said it before, I'll say it again, pick the 100 people that you would do that thing free for. Some of them, of course, let's say if you give away 100 services, at 15 buy, make sure that the pricing model matters where you can make the return on the 15. But then if you have them for multiple years, same thing, he reached out to me, hey, you need transportation? Bro, I want to get taxed. No, I got you first. Now, second year, he made his money. Oh, it's you in the bed. How many red pants do you got? 12? Oh, I got you. I got that bill. I said, ooh. Double up.
We're trying to
The invoice came here too, for sure.
For sure. We're happy to pay it.
That's a fact.
Safety.
All right.
It's paramount.
I got a question. Okay.
The last thing I'll say about InvestFest too, congratulations to the brother that met his fiance during InvestFest weekend. Legendary story. This year at InvestFest, we are doing a singles lounge. There's a lot of single women that come to InvestFest. There's a lot of single men that's really getting to a bag, that got their head on their shoulders. That's intentional. There's a lot of intentional men at InvestFest, and there's a lot of business baddies at InvestFest. So what better way to foster the nuclear black family than to actually have an incubator? And it's going to happen by happenstance anyway. So we wanted to actually have some level of structure behind it. So this year we are having a singles lounge, first time ever. Or if you're an InvestFest ticket holder, all you gotta do is go to the website and sign up. There's no extra charge, there's no extra fee, but it is limited. First 200 people, first come, first serve.
I need a ticket or like I need VIP access for my keynote.
So are you on the market? Because you've been promoting this.
I saw you in the comment section, and we all saw it.
Are you on the market?
No, I'm not on the market technically, my brother. I'm adding to the value of the brand. I'm licensing my brand with the new event activation to make sure the activation go up.
It's the technicalities. Okay, got you.
Okay.
Open.
You call it Fibonacci?
Let's trace it a little bit.
So. Yeah.
Okay. Because
I got you Wednesday though. Got you Wednesday.
All right. Let's get it. Let's talk about this Trump situation. So, first thing I want to talk about is the Trump accounts. So, Trump accounts have launched.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar, so the Trump accounts is $1,000. They will be invested into eligible newborns. And if you sign up, you have a child, $1,000 gets invested into an account, gets invested in the U.S. index fund, grows over the course of.
I need to edit these clips out there.
John takes it out. Until you take it out.
So we're gonna.
I'm just saying they can take it out.
We're gonna watch.
Anytime before 18, but it's penalized, obviously, like I know.
Longer than 18.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you should.
And it's actually retroactive as well. 2025 to 2028 is the qualifying years. It's invested in the U.S. index fund, and you can add money to it as well. $5,000 limit as far as how much money you can add, and access begins at age 18. So this made a lot of news, we had a conversation about. I would be interested to know how many people is actually taking advantage of this.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
we talked to
I think
somebody
they
who was
listed-
actually a mother. She had vaguely heard of it, but she's like, I feel like there's a lot of people that are not familiar with this or are not totally enthusiastic because it's Trump's name behind it, so they're not even going to follow the process. Or it's just a barrier of you got to actually go online and you got to sign up, and it's like that's a hurdle within itself. So the people that need it the most, that can benefit from this the most, I have a strong suspicion they might be signing up the least.
Yeah, do you think they have a branding and messaging problem? I want to ask you guys this. Like, do you think a lot of our community won't sign up just because he blasted his name on it? Like, if it was called a Financial Freedom Fund for Children or something like that, do you think it would have had
I think
more
that-
traction?
That's kind of how the conversation was kind of came about. It was the idea of number one, who's going to sign up for it, but I think the missing piece is the education. I think most people don't even understand what it is or what it's for. Had it been named something else, I think there's a certain segment of the population that would have said, okay, we need to do this. Obviously, there's an emotional attachment to a certain demographic of the population when you hear the name. And so the question is, can you separate something that might be good from the person that is actually putting their name on it? That's tough for a lot of people. There's a barrier there. There's also the barrier of trying to figure out, how do I get it? Now, the kids who are born January 1st of 2027 automatically are enrolled. The children that are born between this, that works, but the children that are born between, and again, you said everybody can sign up for it. The people that are born between 2025 to 2028 get the $1,000 government funding. The process of signing up for it, and shout out to PJK, he called me, he was like, I'm signing my daughter up for it. But yo, this form is crazy. So the form, like if you're a CPA, this is new.
Barrier of entry.
This is new. So this is new.
Yeah.
So the forms got released today, so you can see how to sign up for it. It's called the 4547 form. Marketing again. He's 45 and he's 47, and this is his form and these are the accounts. But again, how many people are going to actually go to the website, sign up for it, and say, okay, now what do I do? So I think where I landed on it was the education piece is what's needed. Can we educate enough people for them to understand that this is an account that can be beneficial for your child? Yes. There are 60 million people eligible. I think they said 6.1 million people have signed up already. Out of the 6 million that have signed up, only 1.4 million were eligible for that 1,000. So that means that those kids were born between that 2025 Jan 1 to it goes to present day, which is interesting. But there are barriers, right? You have to make a certain amount or under a certain amount to even qualify for it. So I think most of the people out of that 1.5 that have signed up had made under 200,000. Now we know a lot of people in our community make less than that. So it's about getting the information out. Now, is that our job? I think that's what we kind of we're figuring out where our debate was going. Like, is it our job? Is it mandatory that we explain it to people? And I said, I landed on if education is what we do, then yeah, part of it is to educate the people on what this is and how it can be beneficial.
But also is the barrier to entry and the lack of education intentional. Well, kudos to Brad Gerstner because this was his idea, this baby, from Altimeter Capital. But then, with all the resources that you have, like you said, there's very little education on it. The barrier to entry is difficult. There's also a thought of why only 1,000, or why kids of a certain age are not automatically included. My thing, if you're creating a platform for financial freedom for the kids, which is a brilliant idea, are some of these roadblocks done intentionally and by design?
I think anything with government is going to have a tremendous amount of roadblocks. Even the people that's automatically enrolled. What does that even mean, right? Because you could be automatically enrolled in like John Hope Bryant spoke about when he was on the show last year, how many people are eligible for the child tax credit that never take advantage of it, and it's billions of dollars in unclaimed money. I have a strong suspicion it's going to be the same thing with this. Yes, you might be automatically enrolled in it, but you still have to sign up. You still got to actually go and fill out. There's going to be a variety of people that do not do that. People don't trust the system already.
For sure.
people don't want to just automatically input their child's social security number, all the information, all of that. It's you're gonna lose half the people just by doing the form. They're gonna get, like PJ said, kept said, they're like, I'm halfway, like, what the hell is this? It's too much. It's a good idea in theory for sure. But even $1,000, like I just did the math. If it's $1,000, if 12% compounded, let's say 20 years. Let's make it an even number. $1,000 in 20 years is $9,650. $10,000 ain't never been. $10,000 has never been bad for anybody in life.
And that's
Especially 18.
That's no contribution.
That's no contribution.
Yeah.
So, but at 20, but at 20 years old, I didn't have $10,000 at 20 years old. The vast majority of people don't have $10,000 at 20 years old. Just wait.
Zach, did you hear that?
It's the thing. That's reality. I know
Yeah.
adults that won't have $10,000 saved right now
For
in their
sure.
30s and their 40s. So imagine having that at 18, and that, like you said again, that's with no contribution. That's just if the $1,000 just sits. You can contribute to it.
Well, that's what I'm doing that. So $50 a month. If you add $50 a month, just $50 a month. If like, okay, the government's gonna give you $1,000, you as a parent, if you add $50 a month to that, at 20, now that's $53,700. Now that's $50 a month, just as low as $50 a month makes it $53,000 at age 20. And $100 a month makes it $109,000. So, it's real. I mean, that's
It's real. A small investment over a long period of time is life changing. Like I put the post up 3 weeks ago, $250 per month is $350 grand. Like I don't know where everyone is financially. $350 grand at any part in adulthood is a windfall that will change a lot of people's lives.
But look, but this is just reading the comments. This is the distrust. Sounds like a setup to me. Another Trump scam. So, and not even judging whether they right or wrong, but I'm just saying that's the sentiment.
That's the
sentiment is why there's going to be people that's like, I'm not doing this.
I can't say this.
I'm fully like with you on that. Like I don't dispute that people have a negative connotation when it comes to it. Like I can't say this guy's name is in front of my mom, but she doesn't want to listen to his name in her house. Right? So let alone that there's going to be an account associated. Now obviously I'm not eligible, but kids are eligible. And so this the other piece to it. And I always said watch the room. We were talking about this earlier, but look at who was in the room with him, right? Kirkman was there, Michael Jones was there. Why Michael Jones? Well, he's saying, look, we're gonna donate $7 billion. Well, where's the $7 billion going if the government's giving $1,000? Well, there's still people who are eligible that will be able to have money from private institutions that will put money in the account. So I think they're allocating $250 to accounts that qualify. Then you have Micron saying that they're going to donate $600 million. And so you're starting to see more institutions. I know Chipotle is adding to it. More institutions are finding a way. I'm sure there's an incentive for them to do it, maybe from a tax standpoint, to be a part of this and help fund the next generation.
The only thing it's going to do is make the wealth gap even wider if people that need it the most don't take advantage of it. Because if you are getting upper middle class people that's going to now have $20,000 to get their kids, when the poor person they don't have anything.
I think it's a cap though. So I think it might be like you have to make under $200,000.
$200,000? Okay, that's upper middle class.
Yes.
If you live in Ohio, so if you make $200,000 and you live in most part of America, you live in a pretty decent life. For sure. And now that community is educated enough to take advantage of the situation, and now they're giving their kids they already had a head start, and they gave them even more of a head start. With a person that's making $37,000, that's just struggling to really survive, either uneducated or fearful, or doesn't have the wherewithal to figure it out, doesn't take advantage of it. So now the wealth gap is actually just increasing over the course of time because you're already giving the people that already had a head start even more of a head start.
So that becomes what role do we play in it, right? Do we educate? Because I think the education piece is important to give as much information that we know so we can tell people and hopefully they make their own decision. While other people I know are just going to ignore it and miss the opportunity.
This other part, real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean to cut you off. We've done our part. The great
Yeah.
part. Okay, write this four down. SPYM, IVD, ITOT, SPTM. As soon as I saw the layout, I said, damn, it's two tech two names. I've been telling you, VO, VTI, VGT. Before Trump fake news had the fund for Make America Great Again, I already gave you the plan for your kids to get rich. Are you investing into it? Pick them out. And people say, well, I can't afford it. You can afford 200, 100. Because all the other services and AAU and childcare cost way more than that, and they don't give you as good as a return. Pick the four that you're going to marry. But even if you don't want to do this Trump account directly, you can do SPYM, you can do QQQN. Bilal talked about QQQI. Pick an asset that you're going to marry and just put money into it every month. And just automate it, you never have to worry about it.
But what I'll say this too, you have to have enough mental fortitude to follow the process. You can only do so much as far as we obviously have a dedicated audience that listens, so hopefully by us explaining it, if people want to take advantage of it, they might have some more information, or if they want to tell their friends, co-workers, or family members. But let's be honest, the vast majority of the people we still haven't gotten through to yet. And there's certain level of wherewithal that you on the bottom level of the economic spectrum of society. Let's be honest. Your top priority is not to listen to Market Mondays.
And that's
You're stressed out. You're trying to figure out how to pay rent. You know what I mean? Like you down on your luck, or it's just a variety of different things. Those people are not listening to Market. So those are the people, and I know people personally that are going to have children, and I know for a fact they're not going to take advantage of it. This is a complex conversation.
Or the information that we get. That's the heartbreaking part. Right. It's like, I'm in need. I'm like, well, I gave you the money to put into the kids' account.
And they won't do it. You know, I will say this about the accounts. It's not an end-all be-all. It's a part of your investment story. Yeah. Should you have a brokerage account? Absolutely. Should you have 529 plans? Should you be doing all those things out in accounts? Yeah, you should be, right? And I'm talking to the audience that is obviously has some financial wherewithal. It's not the end-all be-all. It is a part of the story, and it's free, right? So, should you take advantage of it? I would definitely educate myself if the opportunity is there, if I need it, and if it feels like something that can be part of the investment journey, especially for my kids. I mean,
but that's another thing too. People don't even think about their kids. Like,
I'm not because
You
I'm
gotta
like,
be real. You have to be real.
That's part of it.
They're living for the weekend.
Themselves.
They're not. That's not. Bro, you talking about saving money, $1,000, and kids gonna get it in 20 years, and
That's a life insurance piece.
yeah. They're not even. That's not even on their register. You can give them money. You can give them. Hey, we're gonna give you $1,000 for your kid. What's the catch? What up?
Bro, I got somebody $6,000 last year.
What do I get out of it? How am I going to benefit from it? If I'm not going to benefit from it, I don't care. What? It's the same thing with life insurance. People say like, I got to die for somebody else to get rich.
Right. Same as
My friend text you.
Yeah.
And told you. That was literally what he said. He like, yo,
That's the real.
That's for my kid. I was behind. I'm like, you weren't behind. You was just at camp fucking 3 weeks ago.
Or you know what happens? The other piece of it is that we don't have discipline, and so we might open the account. In 2 years, it might be $1,500. We're like, yeah, I need that $1,500, and we take the $1,500 out, and then it gets taxed, and we're like, wait, hold on, you know what I mean? It's just that's why I said the education. It's so many layers and so important.
Well, here's some info. Well, hopefully you guys now know about it at the very least. The Market Monday faithful. You guys know about it.
Each one teach one.
So if you want to take advantage of it, can we get the website?
Yeah.
If you want to take advantage of it, take advantage of it. If you don't want to take advantage of it, personal decision, but at least you're educated on it. And now you can, like I said, you can tell your friends. You can add money to it. You can add up to $5,000 a year to it. Invest in index funds. Compounds over the course of time. TrumpAccounts.gov is the name of the website.
Yeah, we're not. And this information is as well.
and the app is there as well, and Robinhood is the brokerage. So we saw Vlad on TV today, talking about it. So congrats to Vlad on being the brokerage, I guess, going for the
This
50.
year, that was just that bottom. Told you, it's not it's gonna be.
It was in the list. It was in the list.
Yeah. Rashad, you seem sad a little bit though, even though you just left the tropical island. Like, what's the solution to this problem of getting the information to reach more people when it's needed more than ever?
Go and do what you can do. You go crazy trying to change the whole entire world. Like, you're going to do what you can do. It's like the Marines, a few good ones. You can't save everybody. So, can't focus on that. Help who wants to help themselves, and then eventually, people, when they want help, they'll receive it. But, when you have a song that encourages people to stand and to steal clothes out of clothing stores, and that's the number one song in the world. It says a lot about the times that we're in, but it also says a lot about the appetite that people have. Because no matter how much they can talk about social programming, and that's a real conversation that we can have if you're interested in as well. Yeah, there is some level of social programming, but the social programming only goes to people that's interested in being socially programmed. So at a certain point in time, you gotta have some level of responsibility, because it's like, nobody's forcing you to listen to the music, nobody's forcing you to drink liquor, nobody's forcing you to do all these things. It's there for you, but
There's a disproportionate amount of media being pushed to us. Like, even when it happened at the BET Awards, my first thought was, they cleared it to make that a moment.
You know what I found interesting in this whole, not to get too political, but this whole Gaza thing is like, these people got thrown, everything possible they got thrown at them. And they in the rubble, and they praying, and they getting married with nothing. No electricity, no running water, nothing. They ain't lose their faith, no matter what. They held on to their principles and their faith. So,
Regardless of circumstance.
we know we got it hard, but we have a part to play in our downfall as well, because we want it. No matter how much we say about the ignorant shit, we as a society, we want ignorant more than we want positive things.
For sure.
Until that changes, the vast majority of people still going to be in the same mental struggle that they're in.
The ignorant shit becomes entertaining. That is our form of entertainment. Yeah, sports, and that is entertainment. And so people love it. They want to see tragedy, they want to see downfall. It's the reason why that programming continues to be there and continues to put that in front of you, because they know you're going to watch it, they know you're going to react to it, they know you're going to get emotional about it, they know you're going to come back for more. You're coming back for more.
Well, spin that.
All stop. So those who
even if you don't got nothing to spend,
find us a spin.
find it to spend it.
Just like when 9/11 happened, they told you to spend your money.
The average person doesn't have $500 saved, and the number one song is "Spend It." Spend what? What exactly are you spending? You don't even have money to spend.
For those who don't know, it takes 200 to 400 grand to make a song go number one. That's why I say it's a disproportionate. And shout out to whoever wrote the song and the producer. It's not the greatest song of all time. So for it to go number one in this climate,
It's number one?
It's number one in the street. It's number one in the street. It's number one in the streets. I'll tell you that.
the buzz
It's
and
number. It's platinum.
I see it.
Platinum in the streets.
The more attention you give to it, obviously, the more
For sure.
it's not good. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I haven't pinned into that, because I understand how it works, right? The more you talk about it, the more plays it gets, the more growth it has, then it potentially is the number one song in the country. So,
All right.
real quick, for those who asked, once again, write in the chat, SPYM 1, number 2, IVV, number 3, SPTM, and number 4, ITMT are 4 that you can invest in if you want to emulate the Trump account return without investing to the Trump account.
and you cannot change the investment. It's not something that you can actively manage. The investment is done through the United States government. They're going to put it in index funds, and you can't do anything about that. Once the money goes in, they now manage.
Yeah, which is great because it forces you to not rotate too much, not trade with your child's future.
That's true.
But more importantly, just find a way to automate this for your children on their own. It makes it so much easier.
Let's talk about staying with the Trump situation. Let's talk about this crypto scam alleged situation.
Yes.
So and this has been all over Forbes. Everybody has been talking about this. Nothing new, but it's just really starting to come out now and then. So the Trump meme coin, he's been involved in a couple different meme coins. His wife's name, Melania coin. But let's talk about his coin specifically. Just the Trump meme coin, legendary situation. So the Trump meme coin is said that he profited. So Donald Trump made $1.1 billion in crypto last year. 635 million came from the Trump coin. 600 he made Donald Trump, because they gotta have their filings. Donald Trump last year made $635 million from the Trump coin. The Trump coin fell 95% in value, pretty much worthless at this point in time. Now here's what makes this interesting. Donald Trump made $635 million from the coin. 58 wallets. So 800,000 people lost money on Trump coin. 800,000 people lost money. 58 wallets, 58 people, 58 wallets made at least 10 million each, totaling 1.1 billion. So 58 people from Trump coin
It's
made
platinum level.
58 people made 1.1 billion. He himself made 635 million, while the coin fell 95% and 800,000 people lost money.
Yeah.
And this out of his own tweets, where he's actually tweeted about this when it was actually first coming out, and he tweeted in Truth and Social. The new official Trump meme coin is here. It's time to celebrate everything we stand for, winning. Join my very special Trump community. Get your Trump coin now. So this is the most crazy. This is actually probably the craziest thing that's ever happened in American politics. You have a sitting president that rug-pulled his audience. He literally pumped up a meme coin that had his name on it. You talk about the endorsement. Who's not going to believe that something that the United States president is getting behind from a financial situation is not going to be beneficial for them economically?
Anybody who's smart.
He's pretty much saying this is the future of finance. I'm endorsing it. Let's get on board with this. He's the most powerful person in the world. 800,000 people lose money, and you make $635 million, and 58 people make 1.1 billion.
Did he say he was gonna get a return?
That's what we call a rug pull.
But did he say he was gonna get a return? He just said join our community.
You saying was it influencer?
Yeah, he saw Elon do the same shit with Doge on Saturday Night Live and said, I'm thinking of Elon. Shit, I'm the fucking president. Of course I can make this. And we told him.
It wasn't Elon coin. At least it wasn't his name on it.
But did it twice. Right? Because after the Trump coin comes the Melania coin. The other part of the puzzle is like, yes, that's 635 million, but that still leaves a gap to how did he get to $1 billion. So the other part was that he created the World Financial Liberty Financial, which is a crypto venture that he made with his sons, and he netted nearly 800 million. He actually made more of that than the meme coin.
Yeah, yep.
Right. So you create a crypto venture
test.
A venture fund with your son.
Then you bail old boy out to help you.
Here's the crazy part. His son becomes a billionaire from the venture. Right? This is how his son becomes a billionaire. He makes 800 million, takes 600 from the meme coin, and now he's got 1.4. He cleared 1.4 last year in crypto. His comments. While the crypto market is down, his comments were his businesses are managed separately, his actions comply with the law, and that his administration's crypto policies are intended to strengthen the U.S. leadership in digital assets rather than just benefit him personally. Wow. Wow.
I'm real. We talked about it before. Everyone who said probably 2025, he told you the whole Rose Rashad, the whole Don Tribe, and fucking scorched earth on that black hole. I tell you, shout out to Ed, it's not no money for Treasury prices are getting involved. People, and I'm going to be very honest, same is happening in tech and in AI. Nobody won't care. And I asked the question of Blackout, does the culture love a good skin? The truth is, most want to be in on the skin. They knew Trump corner was no good. Just like they knew Doge was no good, or if I brought up MicroStrategy, not telling the scandal, and that's wrong, maybe. Now, we'll talk about that later, how many coins are sold to fund the dividend products. Most people don't care if something is a scam if they benefit from it.
So most people didn't benefit from it. Most people lost. Most 800,000 people lost money on it.
But they joined in on the premise that it would go up. So they don't care about it. They didn't like everyone who was pro Bitcoin who got in on the Trump coin, they don't look at that. They just, oh, shit, we go up.
Well, that's two different things though. Because they're going into it with the anticipation that they're going to make money. The president, like I said, this is actually, I'm not overstating this. This has actually never been done before in American history. There's actually no precedent for this. There's never been a time in American history where something like this has happened, so there's no precedent to set. He's the president of the United States. He put his name on a financial instrument, then went online, endorsed said instrument, pushed the price up by having a cohort of billionaire friends invest money into it, raised the price, and they all took their money out at the top. That's the definition of a rug pull. He rug pulled America.
Yeah. And the crazy part is, with everyone, he's learning more how to protect himself so the blowback is so he come back on him. And he's figured out how to do it with equities. Rashad, if I met you in 2009 and I said, hey, I got an insider tip about a company, the president is going to endorse it, would you send out to your clients? You said today, even the Intel. Truth be told, most people don't love Intel as a long-term position. They bought it because he endorsed it.
Any film criminal? Can he be investigated? Can he be investigated for it? And then, said president has not put stipulation on it. They said, well, we're not going to investigate. So now what?
And the other hedge is, I was saying before, like if y'all bring back House of Cards and Netflix, it should just be like this. You got enough for a day to make a 3-year series. Now he's involved so many other people in terms of equities and he's making sure the capital flows. No one wants to have a turn on them because you benefited from eventually your companies and so it went from a crypto scam to now essentially doing the same thing in equities, but at least those companies have their fundamentals and we're boosting them up. So the scam is evolving, allegedly, is evolving into the equities markets. I've never heard a president outright mention that a company is good and you should buy it. Like a Barack did that with Apple in 2008. Bro, Richard Nixon got impeached for Watergate. Which is like, if you compare that to this, yeah, so I'm with you.
You also had traded stocks at
this level.
at any level.
They have traded stock.
You never had a president.
Nobody's
Like
traded
this. How is he? How is your team find
So that
That
brings
sets
up
a bad precedent going forward.
should Congress be able to trade, right? Like, should the president be able to trade? Well, the thing, and we had this conversation prior to the show. Nobody has ever done it. How many people knew they could do it and just didn't?
Well, listen, every time I talk to my guy, every time I talk to Todd be like, I wish Barack would do some of this shit that did Trump as well. I really, I've never seen it. Now, for those who are long-term experts, George H.W. had exposure to Halliburton, but that was long-term, right? Had exposure to Exxon, but these were not.
Right.
For those who don't know, like, it's hard for a hedge fund to fire off. Even with agentic and algorithmic trading, 85 trades in a day is a lot, bro.
How are you doing 3,000 in 2 years? I'm not even sure about 3,000 in life.
Okay, even let's talk about Rashad, 2008. You can't front run the trade. You can't know that Intel, or let's say it was XYZ company, let's take Excel, is going to go up this much, and then you get in front of the trade. That one afternoon is a bit. Let alone doing it. But that's a lot. That's a lot, bro.
That's beyond a lot. Like, even for, if you're telling somebody to invest, or you're teaching them, they ask you, right, when you're signing up for the brokerage, how many trades you make in a year. That's not even a category. It doesn't even go past 100.
If you put that in Schwab, boy, they think what? Blacklisted.
But he's investing in Schwab.
Little traders not letting you get off 3,000 trades in a year. 3,000 individual traders?
Charles Schwab was in the Oval Office this year.
For sure.
I know that. The actual guy.
Yeah.
People didn't even know he was still alive. So let's talk about Nvidia. Nvidia's stock has been struggling,
Consolidating.
but
Language is important.
Nvidia's AI
Listen, man.
startup. Are we gonna call this a gamble?
I'm not going to use that word.
Talk about Nvidia for the Nvidia investors.
You know, you going with the word gamble.
No, but Rashad, I'm with you. We're on the same page. We both on the bad guy thing, right? When OpenAI, and I told everyone this a few years ago, PSC chat, if you remember me saying, be careful what you upload, because the large language models are going to take your IP and make businesses out of it. Now NVIDIA has found a way to leverage something that OpenAI wants to do, and now they're going to partner with startups for revenue share to keep you inside of the ecosystem. I think, so OpenAI announces on Jalapeno chip and Anthropic is working on its own chips. As a pushback to that, NVIDIA is now saying we want to use our hardware, our chips, and now we're going to give the LLM away for free and to offset the issue. We'll talk about Alex Karp later, to help costs be okay for you. Opposed to you charging you a lot for tokens or hardware, we'll do a rev share deal. I think it's really, I think it's a fascinating approach. Cause what's not talked about enough, like we talk about the Democratic and Republican and MAGA war, we don't talk enough about the business wars that are going on in tech. And these wars are heating up really fast. So do I like the idea? Yes, for them, because I think they are also seeing other companies get hotter, and one way to offset and move the stock price up is to partner with some of these companies for the future. So you're not getting an upfront spend, but you're getting it on the back end. I think that's brilliant. But also it can be nefarious if not done in the right ways. I like NVIDIA a lot, not just because I'm a long-term investor in it, but we've been there. We know the people. So the ecosystem and the character of the people who work there is full of integrity, so I'm not worried about that. But that AMD, Anthropic, OpenAI battle is heating up, and I think it's reminiscent of what Apple went through with Intel back in the day, when Apple wanted to make their own chips and not be so dependent on one source. So, but I would say for us, if you're a startup, you have to be very careful of who you're licensing out to and what deals you're signing.
Alright, we'll talk about the negative side, but listen, I like it. I actually love the idea. Because if you think about AI startups, we've spoken to a lot of people in the world of AI, had conversations with people
Put my
who have
nails.
startups. The issue isn't the idea. The issue is the compute. And so, if I can provide you with compute, then that means that you have capital to now find other things to help that business grow. From a NVIDIA standpoint, we already said this is not a GPU company. This is a platform company. They made that very clear when we were there that this is a platform company. Now, most of these AI startups, you're right, they're already using the CUDA software, right? Can't change that, right? Most of them are being built on top of that. We get the compute now. What does that do for NVIDIA? Now, and we've seen the investments that they've made. In fact, I covered it in the last class about where they're putting their money. They're putting their money in the future of the entire AI ecosystem inside of that 5-layer cake. And so, number one, you're going to have access to potentially the next revelation, the next innovation, probably will come from your warehouse. Why? Because you've already given software, and now you're giving compute. That's a positive. That keeps you in this space long term. That means that, hey, you're going to now be reliant on what I do from a software standpoint and now from a hardware standpoint. Now, the cost of that is revenue share. Now, they could give compute, and those companies could never do anything.
True.
And now they've given away valuable equipment that other companies could use. The other side is that they can give compute, and those companies can actually grow and scale. And now they have a revenue share. And so the revenue share, like we always talk about, like I'd rather have 20% of something than 100% of nothing. So if I give the compute, I give rev share, and it works out, that's great for the company. What you have to be careful for if you are a said company, AI startup, is that yes, if you're Series A, the seed funding phase of investing, this works. If you're down the road, now you're trying to raise again, and they want to see the books, and they're trying to see revenue, and they see that this company has 20, 30, 40, 50% of your revenue, that's going to be tough to raise capital. So then you're going to have to try to renegotiate with the biggest powerhouse in AI, which I probably, in my estimation, won't work out in your favor because they can
They're gonna turn the power off.
Lights out. Then what? So from a dominant standpoint, I think if he stays dominant in this role, if I'm an AI startup, yes, be mindful of the fine print, but I think it's mutually beneficial, right? Because you wouldn't have to compute at that level. Now, it doesn't even say which compute. It doesn't say, hey, you're gonna have Vera Rubin, right? It doesn't even say you're gonna have Blackwell. We don't know what compute it is, but it probably won't be the next generation of compute. It'll kind of, in my estimation, it'll be in the same vein of a CoreWeave or Nimbus where, hey, we're gonna give you Hopper, right? And then like, the last model will give you that, but it's still, I mean, it's gonna move faster than anything that's moving right now. So I think this becomes a mutually beneficial thing, but the fine print is gonna be important.
Rashad, your wheels returning. Come on, give it the truth. I already know.
Well,
What
I
are
think
your
it's important to know we worked from here, and we took 50 people to the video twice. And one of the things that they really broke down the first time we went is that what a lot of people might not be familiar with is that NVIDIA actually is a venture capital company as well. They have a whole venture capital arm, but they've invested in over 5,000 companies. So I don't think that people really look at NVIDIA from its totality. They've invested in 5,000 companies already, so they're going to invest in 5,000 more. You would think, and some of those companies would potentially be the next OpenAI and change the world. Who knows? But that's important for people to understand when they're looking at investing in a company. You're investing in a company, but sometimes the company that you're investing in is an investing in companies as well. And we saw that even with Microsoft, OpenAI. A lot of, the biggest one.
Google.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And even Instagram. Generational. That was a generational buy. They brought Instagram.
Yep.
So business is always evolving. If you're not evolving, then you're declining. We did just talk about this last week because we just announced it, but we have a new media arm called EYL Africa. Actually, follow the page if you're interested in content that's related to the African continent, EYL Africa. Um, because you
Good
have to
topic, by the
seek,
way.
yeah, you have to seek new opportunities. So I think it's good as long as they don't lose focus. But like I said, for them, I'm not too worried because they already have a whole division that's geared towards venture capital anyway.
Yeah.
Um, and I do feel like, at a certain point in time, if you don't acquire a company or if you don't have new company coming, no matter how good you are, you're gonna get passed by somebody new. So it's better to be it's better by somebody new. So it's better how good you are, you're gonna get passed. Or if you don't have new company coming, no matter how good you are, you're gonna get passed.
In that sense, where number one, have the vision. Number two, make sure that you're participating in innovation of the future. So
Sure.
if I give you GPUs, are you not interested in another company that's giving you GPUs? No, these are working for you. So when you're done, right, because the GPUs have a lifespan, then you're going to be coming back to me for more, and I'm going to supply you with more, right? Because it's advantageous for, if you win, I win, right? If we're doing a rev share, the more money you make, the more money I make. Mutually beneficial.
And keep your eye where they deploy the compute first and if they do it in healthcare. Secondly, secondly, we talk a lot about selling the picks and shovels. They're one of the first companies that are selling the picks, shovels, own the mine, and then they sell you the refined gold at the end. Like, pick your poison. Like I said this after we left. Like you said, they're investing in the seed rounds, Series A rounds. They're doing a lot of healthcare. Still have an amazing moat on market share. And I don't think that their best days are behind them. I think they are incredibly underpriced. And like you said, the power walking. If they get 20 companies that are amazing out of those 5,000, that alone will bolster the market cap, regardless of the innovation. But they're innovating, like they're working with their program. So everyone's in the history. Like even when we talk about the Alex Park crash out, that's the entire conversation I've been having. If I'm deploying 15 billion to 20 billion at a time, where is the return? And now there's a tokenomics issue. I mean, you're doing all this still in tokens, but now you're paying more tokens than you were paying an employee. You have to know where you're getting the return from.
Tolbert, yes, we are live. We are live.
Yes,
Tolbert.
we're live, Tober. How are you?
Hit the like button and share. Oh yeah, real quickly. Speaking of relationships, Jay-Z got that concert. He got a concert that's coming up this weekend. If anybody has a suite, I do not have the ticket.
You got time which night?
If any night.
Yeah, what you like? Okay.
Any
You
night.
don't care.
I'm open. If you have a suite,
Sweet only. You can't do gym pop.
it's gym pop and stuff. If you have some level of accommodation, we can talk about it. Well, like
This
the
is the barber show, right?
it's about relationships.
I got some.
It's about relationships and what better way. I'm open. What better way to build an in-person relationship? So if you have an extra accommodation,
Go. I know you're busy. Text me. Call my boy, please.
feel free to DM me. All my industry friends, Steve Carlos, all these guys, man. I know it's a hard ticket to get.
They all gonna be there.
Feel free. If we made you some money, Troy's already going.
I'm there.
He's already going.
I'm there every night, yo. Y'all, if you see me, yes, I'm there. You're gonna see me all over the place, but I will definitely be there, and I might be recording live from it. So it's
Smart.
happening.
It's like Kyle came back streaming, so you need to go stream the whole concert.
And the next question is, well, why don't you just buy a ticket?
Well,
I'm testing our
the bar
relationship.
ecosystem.
I'm testing our relationship capital. I feel like we've built up enough goodwill in the community and in New York City over the last 8 years.
Show him that.
I'm testing.
That's my boy.
I'm testing my relationship capital here. DM me At my Instagram, Rashad Bilal.
Yeah. We there. There's a couple of those I might need some help on, but this ain't one of them. If anybody knows Olivia,
What's up, man? Larry Jackson? Yo, my God, what's up?
I need help.
Yeah.
I do need help with that. I do need help with some Olivia Dean joints. I got a few, but I need help. Yeah. Help us. We love you.
Shout out to Guru though, because he a hard accountability partner. You say something Guru like, yo, King, I don't really rock with you. My bad, bro. Even if I was right.
Shout out to the whole team. See how it's good. It's good.
Okay, let's do a hypothetical question. If you woke up with a lump sum of $50,000 with no assets, no investment, no car, no savings, $10,000 in debt, 500 credit score, how would you use that $50,000 to change your life?
This is a great question. I appreciate it. I would allocate equally with it. True Tech to Index. Listen, I would be real. Whether you have 50,000 or 50 million, if you want an easy return, you get concentration into tech to index and you get diversification. A lot of times we want a complicated answer because we want life to be more complicated than it needs to be. We talked about it last week, like all the athletes who are investing, shout out to all you guys who reached out. But a lot of times you're looking for an exotic instrument or investment to invest in when you just need a solid return. So I would break the money up into 4 parts. I would put it into BO, VTI, I would put into tech companies. I would probably lean at this time towards Google and NVIDIA for the 2. And I will hold it for a 5-year period. Pay your bills on time if you can. But what would you do if you would start with a question I was actually saying on the podcast summit? The other part of advice that most people don't want to give you is when you get on the mountain of financial freedom, your job is to not slide down and not really. So I know you.
Are you touching that debt? That 10K in debt?
I mean, honestly, no. I would wait 3 or 4 years. I would wait. Because if you look at the return basis, that 10K in capital in 5 years may be 120. Well, let's be conservative and say 60.
Okay.
The return, you're not going to get that money back or the time. And the most important thing, and why I say listen the first time, you can get the opportunity to buy another stock on a dip or a crash. You can't get the time back though. That's why we always look back and be like, man, I wish we knew this in 2006 or 2005 when Apple was da-da-da-da-da. You can't get the time back though. So I will wait to pay off the debt. I would put the money into the market and hope for a long period of time. Hope for 5 to 10 years. Maybe okay. What about you guys?
I'm with you. I'm holding up from the debt. Which is why I asked, because I figured you would say that. I think the game plan is almost not bulletproof, but it's pretty strong case. I think I would do something very similar. ETFs for sure.
Yeah.
Strong ETFs, semiconductor technology, and then I would probably look at consumer discretionary just because of how it's performed over the past 10 years, not so much how it's performed over the past 2.
Yeah.
And then I would have one like very specific, like a drum would be a perfect example of a semiconductor high. I call it like, you have the aisle when we think of semiconductors in the supermarket, but there's like that back shelf that has specialized things, and so the memory piece would be one of an example that I would have an ETF to create that table that I like to talk about, like have a strong table and build on top of it. So I would do that. I would definitely do that.
Shadi, what about you?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely same thing. You gotta invest your money into the stock market at all times. SMH has done very well for me. TSM has done well. I think Microsoft is at a buy point, if you believe it. It's the lowest as far as out of the major Max 7 companies. I think it's at the lowest point from its all-time high as far as the buy potential for that one in particular. QQQ is always going to be something that you can invest in. I strongly believe in QQQ because it's just, how can QQQ fail? If you really think about it, QQQ is probably the strongest.
Indestructible.
is probably the strongest thing that you can invest in.
And probably a perfect concentration of a ETF. Not to cut you off, but that I agree 1,000%.
Yeah, because there's really no flaws in it as far as if you believe that technology is going to lead the future, which I think everybody at this point in time believes that technology is going to lead the future. Well, QQQ is made up of the top technology companies, and it rebalances itself over the course of time. Like I said, the number 3 holder in QQQ is Micron. Now, 5 years ago, Micron wasn't even thought of. But so no matter what happens, as long as you have QQQ,
You're good.
you're going. Like, okay, me personally, I have an IRA. My IRA is in QQQ because I just believe that the long term, when I'm talking about 30 years down the line, technology companies are going to give the best rate of
Around the
return.
world.
And instead of maybe picking 1 or 2 technology companies, I'll just have the leader in the technology space. And I don't have to worry about rebalancing it because it's going to be rebalanced anyway.
And for the person who's asking, and of course the rate of debt. So if you got 10K worth of debt, you got a 35% interest rate paid off. But I've been debt free since 2018. You always go back and do revision of history and calculation. I paid the debt. Being debt free is a flat shot. The remaining $28,000 payment that I paid to be out of debt, that payment cost me $364,000. So everybody like, I'll pay off the debt first. Trust me, you're going to miss out on substantial upside in a tailwind that you're not going to be able to get that time back. Was it a great feeling to be debt free? Absolutely. If I can do it again though, would I have let the returns run up and then pay it off? So it's not an either or, it's a better allocation of money going into tech companies first, taking some out, letting the rest roll over, and then being okay. So I get it, because I'm anti-debt. But I'm telling you, you're going to miss out on some substantial amounts of money knocking down the debt first. And for those who are anti-Dave Ramsey, that's the one thing that I disagree with, is knocking down the debts first and not deploying capital to the market. But at this point, like you can't say the word. Do what you want to do.
Like
You do whatever you want to do.
QQQ is in 5 years, in 10 years, the last 10 years is up 555%. Like I said, and that's just easy. Like you don't even have to be an intelligent person. Honestly.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be an intelligent person. You can literally not even read Wall Street Journal. You don't gotta watch market like this. You don't gotta do anything. Like if you invest in Micron, if you're investing in the stocks that Troy is talking about, and the options, you gotta kind of do research. You gotta kind of be in it. You gotta be in it to win it. But you could be a passive aggressive. You could be a passive investor, and you would have made 500% in 10 years.
Listen, Crystal made put in 10 grand 2020, 2026 at 300 market to ever invest in. I want everyone watching tonight to answer. What are you so damn afraid of? This isn't 2002 when it was like a vortex of information was hidden from us. This is the easiest concentration. Like the Russell, because of booms at 22%. Like we're talking about numbers. If we hit these, or if I proposed in 2010, I can get you 22%. You thought I was going to make that. Hold for the long term. If you want to get into the market, go to the and join Red Handed. Please. QQQ versus QQQ, yeah, both. Financial threesome. Quit asking that question. Both QQQI, QQQE, do what y'all trying to do when y'all go to the party, put them all in the room and have a blast. Financial threesome. Buy all of them. Hold them for 10 years. Like you can't do it in your relationship life. If your relationship life will be cold, let the accounts be warm. My boy. Back to you. Y'all be trying to have a freak off to the best. Let's make them accounts freak off.
Allegedly.
Josephine's after. Go see John O'Brien speak in the morning, boy.
Please.
Josephine with you. get some QQQ. And go with some Black Ops. See some more.
Michael Saylor, Layton Brown Bitcoin sale. So this has been happening pretty regularly now. But selling Bitcoin to pay company dividends.
Amongst other things.
I wanted to ask you about that because you're an international state. I was wrong because it's an international asset in your leisure time.
Everything earned.
Everything is earned, right? Is this a cause of concern for you about concern?
Michael Saylor, I think that the strategy of becoming a Bitcoin treasury company, because Michael's strategy was a software company.
That sells no software right now. Well, the dividends are the software, but
Yeah, they're a software company that became a Bitcoin treasury company. So, okay, if your business model is to become a Bitcoin treasury company, that's your business model. I think you have to have more to it than that. Because what happens when Bitcoin goes down? How do you raise capital? How do you pay expenses? How do you pay dividends? How do you keep shareholders? Like, yep. Are you going to use Bitcoin as leverage to buy real estate in the real world? Like, I think that the business model has to expand and evolve, other than buy as much Bitcoin as we possibly can and hold it for as long as we possibly can. I don't think that that's a sustainable business model. There's no revenue that's coming in. It's not protection from falls, like this was happening, what's been happening. Doesn't protect you in a bear market. It doesn't lead to growth outside of just you're at the whim of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's gonna be fine. I'm not worried about Bitcoin. I believe in Bitcoin. I'm not worried about Bitcoin. MicroStrategy, I think that it's not over, because they still have a lot of Bitcoin. But they have to really rethink their business model. And it has to become bigger. And let's just borrow as much money as we possibly can and buy as much Bitcoin as we possibly can.
And I've said it before. It's early medicinal capitalism. Kudos to everyone else from the beginning. Also, too, when Brad Gerstner is there and they ask him about Bitcoin, I noticed Michael has been noticeably missing from those Trump meetings. Nicki Minaj is popping up with Trump. And Michael
Nicki
Saylor.
Minaj. She said Nicki Minaj. She's hot.
Yeah. About a year ago, these are my same sentiments about Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy. I just didn't. The business model wasn't making enough sense for me, so I'm not investing in it just for transparency. But when somebody changes their thesis and doesn't change the business model, that is concerning to me. Right? The thesis used to be, hey, we're gonna buy it. Doesn't matter. The price is gonna go up.
That's the number one red flag though. Buy it any price.
We're never selling.
Now that's the right thesis. Right? And really quick, shout out to Financial Speaker. I'm not beating up on the guy, but to offer 5 other products and just from a business case study, it's often better to put the new features into the main product opposed to using a bunch of different products. It's much better to do that. OpenAI had this issue early. Too many models. And it's confusing to the average person. But once again, people only believed in the vision because of the villain. Josh Malkin told you when I asked him about it, and it's pretty good. And this is why you have to study financial products and the history of them, going back to the leadership things you get. The case study for this model does not work. And I also said they're going for a contract. We never
And the question becomes how sustainable is it? Yes, and Bitcoin is, moving and you're seeing that appreciation. Great, right? But buying does matter. And it's great for him, right? It's going to consolidate when you're 60,000. Had this thing got down to 50, 40,000,
In 40s,
this would be a very drastic conversation. It has been consolidating. Is it an asset that will appreciate? Of course. We see it. We still believe in it. But the business models that they have, I'm just trying to figure out where's the revenue. Oh, we'll just buy. We'll just buy it. Appreciate it. Well, why happens when it doesn't? Right now, how do we pay dividends? Well, we gotta sell some, and then we gotta buy back shares. Okay, you're doing all the things, but how sustainable is that in the long term? And I'm not even saying long term, 5 to 10 years. Can you continue that for the next 2 years if this consolidates? Now the patterns have shown that Bitcoin doesn't do that. But who knows, right? Let's say over the next 12 to 18 months, if consolidation between 60 and 70,000 continues, or 75,000,
a year goes at,
we're gonna see a lot more selling.
yeah, a year goes at 423 currently at 177 for my technicians. It went from the 76 retracement and it's underneath the 23.6 of the 5 year. Not a good sign. You better get close to figure out your relationship. And my mom said, whenever you say buy at any price for any asset on earth, I don't care if it's a water. That's a horrible thesis. It always leads to trouble.
Big trouble.
Let's talk about SK Hynix IPO this Friday, I believe. Big IPO. Something that's a lot of people have different theories on this. Some people think it's going to really hurt Micron. Some people think that it's a sign that this memory sector is coming to a halt, because it's like when you start to see a lot of IPOs, it's like let's get in while they're still growing. And let's get as much as we possibly can before the gig is up. Some people say that this is just the beginning of the memory sector, and this is something that's encouraging. I don't know, Korean company. This is probably another trillion dollar.
What's up? It's already there.
I was on IPO. Like as soon like first day out. Like
so
it's like a SpaceX situation all over again. It's not as popular as SpaceX.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be like this like a new SpaceX situation.
I wouldn't compare it to SpaceX in terms of, well, SpaceX is a new company that's IPOing and it had a $1.8 trillion valuation. This is already a $1.1 trillion company that is IPOing to raise capital. Obviously, it's trading in South Korea. Yeah, so the idea of raising capital, I get it from that standpoint. Well, why raise capital now? Well, they understand, and this is just my belief concern. They understand that at the moment, right? Like we saw that the demand for GPUs was a bottleneck. We got that under control. And now the bottleneck is memory, and they lead the world. Like I know we want to talk about Micron and love Micron, but the world leader in high bandwidth memory is SK Hynix. And so the U.S. stock market is a place where you can raise capital and build exposure. Most people, if you've been watching this show, if you're in EY University or if you're in Red Panda, you already have exposure to SK Hynix, right? So if you bought DRAM, the ETF, it has a 24% allocation, so you've already been there. The idea that now you can individually have access to it is a game changer. And so their goal, and they expect to raise additional $29 billion. Well, why would they want to raise $29 billion? Because of the demand, right? They have to build new fabs. They have to expand the high bandwidth. What's interesting is that they're actually talking about advanced packaging. So that's something that's pretty interesting to me, because when I think advanced packaging, I think Taiwan Semiconductor. So that talks about more demand in that space, but they're also directly going to start buying machinery, the EUV machines from ASML, which is, and we talked about that, that's a $400 million expense for one machine. So think about that. How many companies are even in the realm of buying one? So they're going to have multiple machines. They're expanding. They already talked about what they're doing in South Korea. July 10th, they're supposed to IPO here. how will it affect the memory sector? I think it's a clear indication that demand is still here. The memory sector is still going to be an issue, or definitely a high concern over the next 2 to 3 years. From what we saw from Micron's report, I see Samsung just reported. I'll be interested to see how they did today. Obviously, they're down on the Kospi Index, so they're in South Korea. And then this IPO Friday, it'll be a clear indication of, hey, either we're resetting the levels because the valuations are too high, or we're going to match these levels and say, here we go on another run. So the idea of Samsung today or tonight or tomorrow, this morning, if you're watching, and July 10th, which is Friday, SK Hynix IPOs, ASML will be reporting on Tuesday, TSM on Wednesday. The demand story will come to the forefront in the next 5 to 7 days. And so that's what we should be watching.
People put in chat. It actually is not IPO. It's an ADR. So it's already a public traded company, but it's getting debuted to the American market on the American
IPO here.
on the American exchange. So it's not an initial public offering, but similar as far as people in America now have access to investing in. But Ian, what's your thoughts on this, and what's your thoughts on the memory sector? Like, how does this impact the memory sector?
I think there's a lot of, and I went through this with NVIDIA. Try, I'm sure you don't agree. A lot of people who missed out on the memory run-up are doing the Michael Burry, and they're requesting credit. So because you missed out, you want these companies to fail. We'll talk about it. Let's say Micron falls 50%, which you want. Most people aren't going to buy the 50% dip. I think Micron lose some share. I think it adjusts. It'll be like NVIDIA and AMD. I think both are incredibly valuable. The other argument is there's so much interest in this one. I wonder what are the tech software companies doing to rebalance to make their stock attractive again. Because now I'm seeing more of an American desire to invest internationally with more patriotism going to non-American companies. Even when I was at the World Cup was in, them Hisense, like we need to have, if we get China's big three tech products versus our big three, and Shadi, we was talking about this in Atlanta, like if they sold those BYD cars, it would be over with for food. So, do I think that there'll be a correction of some sort or an adjustment? Yes, but do I think this company is incredibly valuable? Without a shadow of a doubt, is and the efficiency part. Like we can talk about bottlenecks, but out of the AI boom, the companies who really benefited were the ones who adjusted the business, who really delivered a return on value for the enterprise customers, and they did it great. So, Drama is going to benefit dramatically from it. My rule of thumb is the same. Wait 6 months. There are no exceptions to that rule, but I will definitely be looking for a price point to get into it after 6 or 7 months for sure. I like the long term. But two things can be true, Rashad. Yeah. Like there can be an adjustment in sector overall, but these two will be the superstars in that space for sure.
These two, what, Micron and SK Hynix?
Yeah.
I'll just add this because this is important too, right? So like, yes, you'll have, if you're already in Drama, you have exposure to it. The idea that this is a South Korean company, I'm glad you brought that up. And we know this administration is about making American companies the forefront of innovation. I'll say this, right? If you look at every hyperscaler, pick one. If high bandwidth memory doesn't perform or can't execute at its function, these hyperscalers businesses will drastically suffer. NVIDIA won't be able to sell compute. Meta, Microsoft, Google, all have the same issue that is needed, and that's the memory. He texted me this over the weekend. I said, optimistically, obviously, but I'd be interested to see how fast, because I've already seen ETFs being built for SK Hynix already.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Which ETFs are being built. I'll be interested to see how fast VanEck puts SK Hynix into SMH and what allocation will be at. Those are the type of things you should watch, right? Will SOXX have exposure to SK Hynix and what allocation? That'll tell you the importance and the money. And so when you see this IPO, yes, retail investors have access. But the most important piece is that institutional firms now have access and and so that's what I'll be watching for as well.
And above 8% is like a key. Like if it's 8 to 10%.
Oh,
Okay, well, boy, that's home run.
For the professor role. Oh yeah, there's Pooties out right there, y'all.
The space, which is Micron.
Everybody
they're not
go.
using space. So SK Hynix is
Everybody go show love.
now the high bandwidth memory company in the world.
Okay, is he live right
Samsung
now?
is number 2, Micron is number 3. Micron is
Oh, yeah,
the
Yeah, this like the one we performed in
Do
the
this shit, nigga.
Well, okay. How you define Samsung? What's Samsung's market cap?
it's like 1 point. They're all in the 1.3 to 1 trillion. That's crazy. Like they're all at number 12, 13, and 14 on the market cap list.
Samsung market cap. Yeah, 1.9.
Yeah. Trillion, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So, Micron, who just had a blowout earnings historic actually, and is actually at a lower point now than it was when it reported their earnings. And that's something that I was talking about last week, and he said like that's kind of a sign that that's not a good sign. When it's like expectation has already been baked in. When nothing that you can do can actually move the needle. And it moved the needle the first day, but it's been sliding back since. So, okay, if historic earnings have not increased the stock price, is that a sign of the times of what has been happening with stocks going lower after earnings and then they've gone up over the course of time? Or is it the beginning stages to say that the companies are good, they're solid, not like they're fluke companies, but it's run up so much that the price increase has already been built in? Kind of like Nvidia. You can make an argument that's why Nvidia hasn't moved, because the price increase has already been built in.
If I can take this real quick, everyone go on ChatGPT or Claude and ask what is the expected higher end return for every tech company on earth. Micron is going to be within a standard 2 deviation. Nvidia is doing the same thing. Like the days of they're not going to have a 4-year run when they get 2,000% return. I think that's unfair to ask for. I think it will come to an attractive price point. But once again, when did 40 and 50% returns in a year become failure?
Yeah.
Like I don't understand the equivalent of like if a player scores 90 points in a game, legit shot the damn, but like legitimate 90, and then he goes back to scoring 37. It's like he's not failing; he's just calibrating to whatever his average is. So I think in a world where they have blockbuster returns, and this is a part of the rotation, they're going to hunt for the next 1,000% return company.
Yeah.
There are not many to pick from. So buy it at an attractive price. I do think expectations need to be modified, but if anyone think that Micron is going to fall apart overnight and that their story is over with,
No.
you're sadly mistaken.
You definitely are mistaken. I'll add this to it, and that's why I think the historical data is important. And so if we watch what happened last quarter, it did the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think you touched on it a little bit earlier, Ian. When people miss a run, they're going to allow it to pull back to a point where it becomes even more attractive, so they should now buy into that. And so yeah, it did blow up its earnings, but it did that in Q1, and we watched it get down to 300. In fact, there were posts that were made about this. Many of you guys remember about the fall of it. And here we are at over 900.
Hey, feeding flamingos, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean that's into the flamingos, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't have the short-term vision. I know it feels like, oh my gosh, like guys, you're up 600%, you're up 400%. Like these type of numbers are not even like realistic for any.
And we're talking about the stock, not
the stock.
The option.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, what are you talking about?
This company is not going anywhere. In fact, I have a new price target for it. It's not going anywhere under 1,000. So we just got to be mindful and be patient with it, right? We've already laid out the case for it. We understand that high bandwidth memory is going to be and continue to be in demand. We understand that it's sold out for this year and sold out for next year. The strategic partnership is all laid out for you. The idea is, will you invest and will you hold it? and be disciplined about holding the position.
Is your price point 1600?
It's right in that ballpark. It's in that ballpark. Yeah, not far.
70.
Yeah, it's in it. It's in that ballpark.
Hold for a long time.
Put this person last.
Okay. AI bubble warning. There's been a recent AI bubble warning issue, a new one. What's your thoughts on this?
I don't know if bubble is the right term. I do think that AI promise is not being delivered. Like I asked a question last week, maybe slightly controversial. So I think one of Microsoft's really got solution about my hardware. You can't win with this stuff. Like for all the automations that we have, the shots of complexity, and everything's timeline, it's like a little. Still to this day, I can't set up all these agents and then just go off to Mexico and do these work for 2 weeks and come back and get these the first company that provides that kind of place and as a result, with even AI not delivering as well as it should, it's a really, really assumption company. So Bubble, well, I think people forget even in the .com era, it took a while for things to be calibrated. I don't think it took that long. But I think we may be 3 or 4 years off from having systems of scale and tech at scale that really allows you to offload your workforce and the cost isn't so high to be able to do so. So I wouldn't say bubble, but it hasn't delivered on the return that it was initially promised. You can lay off your workforce and enjoy more of your life and be off grid and just let the LLMs run in the background. Like that premise is, do you guys know anyone? Now, I've asked this question to probably 200 people over the last year. No one is just leaving their business to be run. So,
the idea. I mean, I think one of the greatest minds that has lived through both and his business has benefited tremendously because of it spoke on this recently. Jeff Bezos was asked about the bubble, and he said, I want you to think of it like this. Right now, businesses are being done in terms of picks and shovels, right? Like people are manually doing the work. He said, think of AI as a bulldozer. So if you were digging with a pick and a shovel, well, a bulldozer is about to come and make everything happen a lot faster, more efficiently, and so the actual task won't be replaced. How we get the task done will be altered. So companies will survive. Some will falter, but that's business, and that's what happens inside of revolutions, especially in the technology space. And he got a good example because in 1997, look at what his company was, and in 2026, obviously he's not CEO anymore, but look what that company has grown to, right? Because he was able to adapt, he was able to use the technology to his advantage, and he was able to scale. So that's how we gotta have to look at it. The AI bubble, we've been talking about this thing for at least 18 months now, man. It's like, okay, there's gonna be bubble. Let's find the companies that are gonna be here when this so-called bubble bursts. Who will be the scamming companies? I think we're spot on with the ones that we've been saying. For sure. Time will tell. And I think we're gonna be on the right side.
Shaw, what are your thoughts?
Bubble's relative. I feel like, there's a lot of companies that, we just actually leads to the Alex Clark show. Actually, look, let's play this. Let's play the clip from Atlas, because this kind of just leads into this conversation.
Alex Karp on CNBC last week and torched the entire AI business model, and Becky Quick had to stop her mid-rant. Like, you sound pretty angry. And his response, this is the voice of American business channel through me. I mean, his rants are usually pretty epic, but I think he hit on two sticking points that really decide how AI diffuses through the economy. Number one is that enterprises are losing trust in a lot of these AI model companies. He's saying because they're not safe, and safe is a little bit different than you think, so let's hear him out.
Safe because it doesn't touch your unlearned data. Safe because it prevents the large language model from caching your data and replicating your business. Safe because it doesn't transfer your IP of how to fight, secret data, top secret data, or in a clinical context.
And the second is that a lot of these large enterprise customers are now wanting to own the entire AI stack. Compute, models, their data, all of it. Again, take it away, Alex. Here's the structural problem that he's calling out. Your edge as a company depends on that proprietary data. Your AI vendor depends on their models getting smarter. And how do you think they do that? So there's a collision course. Because the labs aren't just selling tokens anymore. They're not.
Okay. So, Alex Carp, he went on a whole rant on CNBC about AI, his frustration with a lot of AI companies. And
fun to argue with Dario.
He's been known to go on rants from time to time on a variety of different things. But okay, so back to the AI bubble thing. AI bubble, yeah, for sure, because a lot of the companies are not built on anything foundationally strong. They're just putting AI in front of their name and just saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, like you said. I personally have yet to see AI do a variety of different things that people think it can do. So even if you look at our world, like AI cannot create content. If it did, everybody would be a content creator.
Yeah.
I know this firsthand.
Is it yet or just?
Well, until it's done, it can help you make content.
Yeah, it can't make it. It can't future project. It can go off the past.
It can make content. It's not good. It's not good enough.
Not great.
It's not great. It's not great. But you would say, okay, I can make content. It's not.
Future project. It can go off the past.
It can make content. It's not good. It's not good enough.
Not great.
It can make content.
Yeah, it can't make it. It can't future project. It can go off the past.
I'm gonna have AI cut up, and then it's gonna get 1 million views, and that's gonna be my pathway to become the next Logan Paul. It has not happened. It has.
And I like Opus Clip, but it's
who
not.
has happened for? Who's happened for?
I just watched AI travel channel that has like 10 million followers. Completely made up. She goes in history and takes you through history, and it feels like
I'll follow that page. Yeah.
You follow that page? So like,
yeah, but even that's different. That's utilizing AI to give. Like we have French
I'm
Montana.
not saying like what we do, but like in terms of content.
We can say that because we use AI for our content. So we have French Montana episode. A few of those clips, one clip went viral, had 1 million views. We use AI in it because it's narrating, telling the story. That's different. That's still an editor that's actually knows what they're doing, that's placing AI in it, utilizing. That's still work involved. I'm saying as far as the hands-free pilot, I don't got
autonomous.
Autonomous. AI's doing everything for me. That hasn't happened yet. So AI, the idea of AI, I think, is ahead of the reality of AI. The idea of AI is ahead of the reality of AI in a lot of different places. We still don't have the Jetsons car that we supposed to have 25 years ago. Still waiting for that to happen. Like there's still pilots in the sky. We're supposed to have autonomous planes by now. Like commercial. I mean, that's what you would think would happen at this point in time in 2026. Like that's what the promise is.
Was that?
And 90 probably Justice came out with 70.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm saying AI, the current state of AI, the revolution that's happened over the past few years. What like we're just doing large language models right now. So like, what are you basing that on?
Even the large language models are still being prompted. So what I'm saying, like when you hear it says, there's still a person attached to it. This idea that humans are going to be not needed anymore, that's the narrative that's been pushed a lot. Humans will be no longer needed. I haven't seen it. The idea of AI has gotten ahead of the practicality of AI. Of course, AI is going to be here. AI is going to change the world. AI is changing the world every single day. But there's a lot of companies that's just coming up with random ideas for AI, and it's not going to work. And when that happens, a lot of these companies are going to fall by the wayside.
And
I'm not sure I agree, but okay.
Tell me why, Trey.
Well, I think we're so early inside of it. I think the argument that's fair to make is that we haven't seen the revenue generated from the spend in AI, and that takes time.
Yes,
right? Right. So we still don't have infrastructure yet. We still don't have energy yet. The applications are still trying to get software hasn't even been put out. Yeah, you have a few models, platforms that you use. You have 5 now, but like that's drastically going to change in the next 5 years. Right. So I think we're so early that argument I think still needs time to come to fruition. Right. Like obviously, agentic will be here at some point in the near future. Autonomous, it's going to happen. It's going to take time for it to happen. I think the fair argument from my standpoint would be, and I could agree, and kind of what Alex is saying here is yes, the spend and the capex, where's the return? The other part for a lot of companies, yeah, right. You wouldn't say that for Micron. There's been a return.
Yeah, I said they were the smart them SK Hynix, Nvidia, but the premise of but for OpenAI, like I've been using Chat in 2021 or 22. Even the premise there on the business side or consumer side, a lot of the stuff that they said it could do, it hasn't been able to do. Even like when Charlamagne, when Trump OpenAI out, and Schultz is like, no, you need human intuition. Like it can, and even for investing, OpenAI, when you prompted it last investments for what the next stocks were going to be, it got all wrong. So I think there's a way to go, but I think the initial premise and promise for what is being spent in terms of like he's talking about token pricing, and then the thing I've been always asking, how do you get finance return? I say with OpenAI, why do you need to sell 5% of OpenAI off to the government if you got a machine that can replicate God? You're bullshitting on one side or another.
And it's just bullshitting. Elon Musk, you change your company from a car company to a robotic company. There's no need to have 100 million humanoid robots. It's not going to happen. It's a fairy tale. That's a fairy tale. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Because if that's the case, they would have just traded the arbitrage on. If the model was that fucking great, they open the shop open now. But if the model was that great, you would have traded arbitrage every day to not raise capital. That was the first sign to me. Shit.
That's why
Anthropic does not have that issue.
That's why I think the key word is yet, right? Because the one thing that we do know about the models is that even as we're talking, they're doing better, right? And so 3 years ago, we sat here to a T, like you said, OpenAI would lead. We said OpenAI would lead. Is it our leader today?
No, it adjusted.
That's what I'm saying.
It adjusted.
That goes to the case that models are getting better, right? In a year, we might not even say OpenAI is our leader. There might be something different. Because something would have surpassed it. So we're still early in this.
I think they've already been surpassed. And I brought up and also too, the Elon, that's why I was telling you, that beef shit doesn't help. The Elon battle destroyed the company because the Lynn team is willing to go. And then here comes Anthropic, they take the lead, the model is better. Anytime they get the action for that 200,
good. So
I'm happy with it.
And that kind of ties back into the NVIDIA piece, right? I'm going to put the capital, I'm going to give the compute, and let's see who comes back with the thing that is going to lead. I think that the Alice, I watched that thing live, so if you haven't seen it, it's a 7-minute segment. But I'm glad we cut this piece because it keeps bringing the word up, safe. And if you think about safe, I keep hearing him talk about, in my mind, he's talking about his own company. Why are we getting beat when these people aren't making money and we have the idea and the platform and technology to keep?
He was talking his own book for sure.
Right. We want to keep you safe, right? We have the government contracts. Our platform is the place. Those applications aren't ready yet. These people are trying to spend and spend. Now the AI model is, hey, we're going to build inside of our in-house, which again, 2 things can be true because I just read the report that Broadcom and Google like to say, hey, you know what? We're going to use our own silicon to build our own CPU. We may not need you anymore. At the same time, Apple says, okay, cool. Broadcom, you're going to be our partner into 2031, right? So people are saying, how can we keep the stack inside? The problem with that, Jerry, is that how many companies can afford to keep the entire stack in?
Not many.
Three, maybe. Google, Amazon, maybe.
And Apple, they put up some money, but they won't.
But they won't. So that's such a limited space. Like how many people can actually do that, right? So it becomes not a monopoly, but I mean it is a monopoly in the sense if I'm doing everything in house. So he's saying the right thing, but he's also promoting what they do. Because why is the software space getting beat down?
His grades isn't the best last year,
Right. Why
And AI is software. That's the other funny part of that. For those who don't know, AI is software. But going back to the picks and shovels, Micron, AMD, Intel, when they got selected, they made a great return on capital conversation. Put this in check. Every business is in a hedge fund business. How much money can I make you? How much can I save you? How reliable can I be? If I made you money, please put that in check. What OpenAI has not done, they haven't done a great job of letting the consumer base know how much easier your life can be. Even like when OpenClaw came out, that was an issue. DeepSeek was an issue. And then also too, we haven't had an American company that is open sourcing. That's the real Trojan horse and threat.
Yes.
That could lead to enterprise growth, kind of like, but now we get into the Microsoft, we're going to open source it unless you be in our ecosystem. But what open sourcing, there's going to come some IP and idea of that. It happened with Word. For those who don't know, like even though Microsoft our biggest favorite company of all time, the origins are still nefarious.
So even if they open source, what platform do they go to? What's the first place they go? So even open source, right? You can see CUDA still being the software that they're going to build on.
You gotta go to the mothership, and that's why like the suppression of NVIDIA. Because if we argue moats, they literally have governmental moats on both sides. They have the skin, they have the hardware, they have the platform, the partnership, and likability. I don't get the compression. I really don't. But it's going back to people are just chasing a return.
I saw somebody in the chat say 300 by the end of the year. I'm not mad at NVIDIA as like in the 270s by the end of the year. I can see the path for it. The consolidation now is frustrating. Yeah. What's also frustrating is that people tell me like, yo, NVIDIA doesn't move. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
everybody's looking to trade. They're not looking to invest. That shit breaks my heart. You're gonna see me in like in one of them other countries or another place, and like, you should listen. You should have. You should have. It doesn't move for the gambler in you. If you have some capital in it, 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand, it is a beacon of safety. For sure.
What's the outlook for TSM?
TSM is, for those not in the know, the number one manufacturer and packaging company for semiconductors in the world. I think that at this point they produce 80 to 90% of the world's semiconductors. And so when I talk about my favorite companies, this is at the top of the list. When we talk about the most important companies, obviously at the top of the list. They report on the 16th, which I believe is next Wednesday. Early expectations right now, they're looking at a 50% jump in revenue, which is absolutely ridiculous. The future guidance looks like they're going to increase it as well. I think TSM, and I like that it reports early. It reports before everybody, because it will tell us, are they getting orders from NVIDIA? How high? Right? Last quarter, they said NVIDIA's orders were in such high demand that they passed Apple as their number one client. Right? So much so that TSM said, okay, we've got so much demand that we might have to offshoot some of our demand to some of these companies, which is why we talk about Amcor as a company that's going to be a beneficiary of that. There's another company, but South Korean one, ACI, that we can't directly invest in, so we'll go with Amcor for now. But that demand story will be on the forefront. Is NVIDIA still having that same level of demand? Is Apple demand, the appetite still there? Is AMD demand still there? AMD is like, was up $20 today. Just quietly at over, I think it was at 570 today. What does that demand story look like? You're going to see the AI hyperscalers come to the forefront, and if TSM is able to say, hey, demand has peaked again, now we're going to see another ticking up of that semiconductor space and the technology space, because CapEx hasn't slowed down. In fact, it's getting increased. The demand hasn't slowed down. Have companies pulled back? Yeah. Have people taking profits? Yeah. You know my favorite question. Has the story changed?
TSM should be at 618 months. And we could argue if it was American born brand, it would probably be number one.
We're getting closer.
For real, like, home for the long term. And before we wrap, I want you to post rapping. Please put this in the chat. I only need 4 stocks to hold on to for a lifetime. I had an interesting conversation with a brother in Stockholm. His granddad in 1980, Stockholm put yes in chat if you saw it in Telegram. 80 shares, if you would have held it through all the splits, would have turned into 17,000 shares. So even the desire to want to sell off early, some of these companies are going to have to split. And then you go from having 100 shares to 1,000 shares or 100 to 500. There's only upside potential if you're holding equities for a long period of time. You only need 4 that you're going to marry. Like even, which I talked about earlier, like even with QQQ, you can't go wrong. I know some of them, but what about TQQ? What about TECO? Yeah, you can add the exotics on top of it, but your core 4 have to be ones that you never, like, you never wake up in the middle of the night going, like, you know, or VTI or VG or Q. You only need 4. My question for you is, why do you ask for it? Because you never know. And if you don't, you deserve to be I think you deserve to be rich. And wealthy. Hopefully one time. But at this point, I mean, real, do what you want to do. If you want to go through your money and mess up your money, I'm not. If you want to, I love that for you.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. How was yours?
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Get your tickets to Invest Fest, August 7th through August 9th in Atlanta. This is going to be one for the history books. A lot going on. Check us out Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for Blackout. We will be live.
A lot to talk about. We may do some call-ins.
Yeah, for sure. And Thursday, check us out at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We got Sway Pro. We're going to be breaking down the salon suite industry in detail.
Yeah, and you shout out to, you shout out to EYL regional groups. Obviously during Juneteenth and over the holiday year, Father's Day, they had incredible media. I want to give a huge shout out to all the leaders. Watching y'all execute, even when we're not there, it speaks volumes. So shout out to Atlanta, shout out to Chicago, shout out to Michigan, obviously New York and New Jersey. Love is love. We are 30 years away.
You told me earlier, my heart's going pound. I'm like
30 years away from everybody coming together. So the big thing we need for Invest Fest. So I'm looking forward to meeting and seeing everybody.
Shout out to my Morocco fans. I'm not a bandwagon person, but shout out to my Morocco fans. Having an amazing time. Jude got this.
Shout out to Jude, man. I support my Dominican brother.
Cooking, bro. You got that second ball?
Star, he's a star.
And we're going to talk about
Oh, damn.
the World Cup on Blackout.
We got smashed.
We're going to talk about the World Cup on Blackout. There's a lot going on, a lot of racist comments being made.
Slow that. Shout out to King Bird. Shout out to everybody, King Bird. I know we have a long population of supporters out there down in this night. Yeah. You know what?
Hey, fellas, we gonna talk on Blackout.
What?
World Cup player?
Remember what we said earlier, man?
What we said?
Yeah, see? There you go, man.
My team was good. I'm rocking with France now. They're coming out. Mbappe the world's greatest.
Yes,
I've always said that. I've been consistent with my support of Mbappe. He's the world's greatest.
Football, he's different.
Football is a fact. That boy
Mbappe's my guy.
He's different, bro.
Oh, of course.
is different.
He's a generational talent.
Number 10 is still playing. Let's just be mindful.
2026.
He's
I'm talking about all-time career. I'm talking about 2026.
2026. He's leading right now.
They tied.
Well, Holland's tied with him too.
Yeah, they all
The
tied.
Viking, that dude.
They tied.
That dude's crazy.
Fellas, have you been to that Brazil game though?
Yeah. Yeah.
Colombia's still in it.
Colombia is playing tomorrow. Egypt tomorrow. They said they got the number one support base.
That's how you know I've been focused. I ain't go to none of them games.
They play in Houston. They might be playing in Houston, actually. Argentina, Egypt, and is in Atlanta.
We get tickets on that stuff. So I'm going to States. Tear down shit because I ain't go to the
We need the Colombian Massive to pull up. We need Cape Verde to pull up. We need a couple countries.
Cape Verde. The Moroccan fans is tough. Energy crazy. The high sense, I'm gonna be real. Some of them brands, you know what I'm saying? Thank God that they don't sell here and there.
I'm not gonna high sense. I got a few TV, two high sense TVs. I like it. Fire. You gotta be good. Gotta be good to each other. Call somebody, reach out to somebody. The summer is here, and if you don't have any motion out there, it gets really difficult. So get outside. Like, you gotta get outside. You gotta
You
explore.
keep a blackout energy too?
Nah,
Okay.
meet some people. You know what I mean? Open to talk to new relationships. They're important. And let's make the best of our time here together. Let's do that.
Okay. We need to get
Y'all be good, man. Love is love.
I don't know why they pulling up on this movie. Let me see if I can sign in though, 'cause I don't know what the fuck was up with that shit earlier.
The first. The first club director is
3. I mean 164 3.
To present something. Is the Streamer University Scholarship full ride into another semester. Last year we had to go through a lot of different people. We had to look through a lot of different creators. first. Streaming University is designed to help the discoverability of streamers. Put belt to ass year after year after year. And it's hard to like think this limited amount because I wish everybody could just go. No Chill Guild, that's what the 50 gifted. I wish everybody can go. Petite Blonde Model, that's what the 50 gifted. And yeah, there is in-person application people on this goddamn board. As hectic as in-person application was, people have got selected from there. You know, I sat there for 9 hours in each city hoping to talk to everybody, but some of it shorter than others, you know? And in person and online, okay? So when there is a in-person application, I won't be able to call it out, so don't worry. I'll let y'all know. But, prayer emojis in the chat. Let's get this thing going. Oh, it's getting late. Hold on. Prayer emojis. Let's get this thing going. Okay, y'all. Now, if you guys are paying attention to the Mafiathon 3 universe, you would know who these first 5 students are. During Mafiathon 3, there was a golden ticket feature to where those random people can get selected to come. So if you guys remember Shimiyu, the first 5 people are golden tickets.
Belgium whoop.
So let's see who those people are.
Whoop US. Damn.
Let's see.
Damn.
The
0-0.
first golden ticket,
4-1. 1-4.
who's won a spot, hold on. There you go. At Streamer U. YouTube, y'all good? YouTube, y'all fun? Y'all good? YouTube is good. Y'all all look locked in. Y'all all look very locked in. Okay. It should be good. Welcome to Streamer University Class of 2026. Round of applause. The first golden ticket of Streamer University 2026
They had games on there. What the fuck?
is
Damn.
McQueen Live. McQueen Live. Hello, McQueen. I know your last already knew you made it in because of Mafiathon 3. But W McQueen in the goddamn chat. He is a golden ticket student that won back in Mafia. Why? Wait, hold on. You can't even view his channel. Is this nigga eviscerated on Twitch? Goddamn! The second golden ticket winner is Aito Official. They won for Mafiathon 3 golden tickets. Alright? Can you put this up? Is she live? Let me see. Oh, she is live. Aww! Aito, how you doing? Everybody show them love, y'all. Follow the entire roster so you are caught up to date on what is going on. MGM, Echo Nation, MGM. Oh, that's Echo. That's Echo. That's Echo, kid. Queen Live
schedule this shit so it can be released tomorrow. I just don't know why the fuck it's not playing on the laptop.
Butterfly with 4 Ys. You are in SU. Cool butterfly with 4 Ys. You are in SU. Where's she at? We gotta get you a new PC, huh?
Thank you.
Yeah, we gotta get you a new PC. What? Oh yeah, we gotta get you a whole new setup. Oh hell no. Oh hell no. We gotta get her a whole new setup. What the fuck? Why she sound like that? And now that is all of the golden tickets. Now the numbers are final. Here we go. Here we go. Now we're going up top. Guys,
it though, isn't it?
Right? Right? The next person is Mr. Keem. Mr. Keem. How are you doing, Keem? You are now in Streamer University. Okay, Keem?
Because they understand something.
Let's go, guys! Don't let me down, nigga. Pin Mr. Keem, please. Keem, hey, listen, if y'all need help with tech or anything, go to that nigga. He a student. But if you need help on the answers and all types of shit, go to that nigga, man. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. Okay? Why am I saying that as a dean? Hold on. Don't go to shit. Don't go to shit. Don't go to shit. Wow, again? What am I? Yo, lock in, gang. Set the rules in the tempo. Next, we have. This is an in-person exception. Meaning, this person is in SU because I seen them in person perform, and I was like, that's the one.
Companies,
This next person
the greatest
who
cities,
is in Streaming University is
the strongest companies.
Juicy Jacob. I believe he applied to be a mascot too. You can do whatever the fuck you want, Gabe. You want to be a mascot? Fuck it. Juicy Jacob, you are now in Streaming University.
The greatest cities.
Juicy Jacob. What? Hey, bro. You're so crazy. If I didn't see you in person, you wouldn't be on this board, but congratulations. You're an in-person application.
Yo, what the fuck is that nigga on? That nigga said, let it grow. What the
The last
fuck?
person on the first column. Oh my god. Oh my god, Jack. Oh my god, I forgot. Fuck. I forgot. The facts. Yo, what the fuck? I'm slow as shit. Holy fuck. Wow. Okay, where we going? Juicy Jacob. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That nigga said IRI.
Next person up is
Trying to edit this video. I don't understand why the fuck I can't see the Twitch on. Like,
Mookie. M-O-O-K-I-E. Mookie. Mookie. You are in Stewart University. Primarily a League of Legends streamer. She's been streaming for
Flight
over
Dossier 001.
years, guys.
Architecture of Ascension. Flight
She's
Module
been
5.
streaming for over
Civil.
years. Next. Honestly, I do not support this person's artwork, nor do I support. I don't support this person's abuse on something that is forbidden from Shooter University, and this person be wilding when it comes to abusing this. This person be wilding, okay?
Architecture of Ascension. Flight Module 5. Civilization
Let's see what this
Cathedral.
person has.
Thinking. Greatest builders often begin
Let's see
projects.
what this person has.
How the fuck this cam be going out like that?
Fun facts. It better be AI
most influential idea, defining works of ideas, the defining works of ideas, the defining works of arts. They weren't built for the next weekend, built for the next generation. This weekend, built for the next generation. Weekend, we're built for the next generation. This weekend, we're built for the next generation. Ask yourself, are you building a highlight or a legacy, a viral moment or a body of work, a paycheck or an institution? Builders, because significance, because significance isn't measured by how quickly you were noticed. It's measured by how long your work continues to matter. Build deliberately. Build deliberately. Compound relentlessly. Going solar. Going solar. Fly beyond infinity. Transmission continues. Transmission continues with flight module 6. Identity equity. Flight Dossier 001. Let me turn it off and then turn it back on. Toilette pour femmes. Les hommes Je voudrais un.
Je voudrais un jus d'orange, s'il vous plaît. Je voudrais un jus d'orange, s'il vous
Is it Jeux? I mean J-E, yeah, Jeux. Jus d'orange? No, it's G-U-S. S'il vous plaît. Orange juice. I know it's juice though. Vehicle registration renewal. What the fuck? Nigga, this in September. 231. What the fuck? Yo, how much it was last year? Hold on. I already looked that shit up. Fuck that. I don't know why it ain't connecting, bro. Damn. That.
Stream test. Twitch, how are we doing? Spam W's, we're good. YouTube, how are we doing? Spam W's, we're good.
Bro, shit was $50 last year. Why the fuck is it $200? What the fuck? What kind of tax, what kind of tax income they trying to get? This shit was $200. I mean, it was $50 last year. It was $51. Mailing fee. Okay, look, plate penalty. What the fuck? I mean, maybe this was even late. This even with the late fee, plate penalty, whatever the fuck that is. With the mailing fee, $1. Okay, annual registration fee $45, plate penalty $5, mail fee $1. Total $52.18. Why the fuck this year is it? And it's early. It ain't even due until this. It just started in July. You got 60 days. You got 54, 55, 50 days. Why the fuck is it 200 and how much? 236. What the fuck?
Cool. Cool. I don't even give a fucking shit. Cool. I don't even give a fucking shit. Guys, now I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, and I'm really appreciative of this opportunity.
Voiture. Voiture. 5. Les Phillies.
It is now time.
Elles sont à Paris.
Elles sont à Paris.
Get into the next.
Toilette. Là.
Okay, here we go, y'all.
Billet d'avion.
Here we go, y'all.
Passeport. Passeport.
Alright, this next match.
Ouais.
Paul va à Montréal.
Paul
Paul va à Montréal.
va à Montréal.
This next match.
You should go ahead and pop some corn and grab a stool. All the numbers are fine.
Avion.
No t-shirts, no vinyl. I'm
Voiture.
about to make me Richie like Lionel for real.
Aujourd'hui.
Production, come on.
Du.
What? Oh, it's late.
Hôpital.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do this.
Je voudrais un jus d'orange, s'il vous plaît.
Je voudrais un jus d'orange, s'il vous plaît. I would like, je voudrais.
Oh my god, this is so fucking loud work. My fucking finger dog is not working. Holy fuck.
Stay in style with the Green Knight Award every Guardian.
What the fuck happened? My finger dog is not working.
Good evening, Mr. Hunt.
It's alright, I'm about to go.
Our lives are some of our treasures. We cannot escape the past. 30 years ago, you
Here we go, y'all. And you think
the stakes of this mission are higher than ever.
you want this motherfucking list, say me. Go ahead and manifest it, y'all. Say me. If you think you want this list, say me. Say me, true.
Oh, girl, I'm looking
Appreciate all the subs. Appreciate all the follows. Appreciate all the hold on. Because I think YouTube is going crazy. If you are new to YouTube, go ahead and like and sub up, y'all. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Oh my god. Y'all, we're at 15.1 million. Bro.
As are her whereabouts. What is certain is that
YouTube, shout out to y'all. Bro,
that camera right there be going out.
Ava Zura. Ava Zura. She's not live. Ava is not live. W Ava. Ava Zura. Pin Ava Zura. Pin Ava Zura. Ava Zura is not. Listen. Fun facts about Ava. Okay? Ava is from South Florida. She mixes gaming, IRL, and just chatting content on Twitch. Also uses to create cosplay. W Ava Zura. Everybody say W Ava in the chat.
Man, fucking machine need to call me or hit me back in music, actually. So, cause I just bought this shit yesterday, man. I'm trying to get my fucking groove. Like, I'm trying to get, my workflow, my production workflow, like supercharged. I need this to work, I need this to work. So, whatever the license and the software transferred from the previous owner, I bought it used at Guitar Center. Or you guys can just replace it, like whatever, I mean, I'm eventually like do some sponsorship. But this shit helps supercharge me. I'm taking my musician capacity, my musical capacity to an A-list level. So I'm saying it will behoove you. It will be in your interest to look out. I mean, like I'm supporting. So like, hey, make it mutual. I'm not even asking for something for free. I'm not asking for something for free, but definitely like I'll support the shit, So
Wake up, nigga, you're in. 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 Ocho Cinco, thanks for the 100. Get this, Ocho. I need to talk to you. No, you have to come out. I talk to you personally. Come here. I need to talk to you. Yes, you. Come here. Why is silent is this way? Stay right here, brother. Stay right here. No, look. God. God, listen to me right now. Listen to me. Can I please just give you a hug? Come here. I want you to come close. Come on, give me a hug. Yes. Give me a hug. Look at me dead in the eye. Bitch ass nigga. Yes. Give me a hug. Okay, hug. Come on. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Just give me a hug. All right. Yo. Okay. You see? You see? You see? You see? Small creator whose application caught our attention. Okay? He got 15 million views on his SU application on TikTok. He lives in Canada. I knew this nigga was from Canada. They been Canadian niggas, man. Fuck. Yo, Dino Stacks, thanks for the 5 weeks. Appreciate it. Yo, who from here? Who from here is from Canada? Okay, I wanna know that. The next person.
I gotta get up early, so
On my mobile, you just type in real quick.
and this fucking I don't know what's up with that one right there, but that's why that's why I be using just the phone and shit. Like I haven't been using that as much. It's getting that MacBook replaced, but I don't know. Maybe I'll try to get this replaced too, cause I don't know why like it keep dropping connection. Like it's not showing it right now, but that shit was saying like something with landline, land network, or some shit like that. So I don't know.
Next person. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Taylor Jasmine. Taylor Jasmine. Taylor Jasmine. Taylor Jasmine. Welcome to S2 2026. Taylor Jasmine.
Shit.
W Taylor Jasmine. Facts about her. She's from Georgia. She's been making content for a decade. Singer and a streamer. Was at the in-person auditions in Atlanta. W's in the back of the chat. Follow her to make sure that you are updated with streaming. The next person is an in-person application variant, okay? Because it was in person, they're on this list, and I found something that was pretty cool, right? Real underscore big ant. W's in the chat for real underscore big ant. W's. Oh, the mom on the live chat. The mom on the live. W mama chat. Yo, do y'all want to skip the fun facts? But the shit cool though, like the machine cool, but I ain't gonna lie, this is taking up a lot of time though. But it's also cool cause like we draw these up, I ain't gonna lie. Big ant, hold on. Yes? Bro, I ain't gonna lie, we took time to get this in from NYC. Hello? Oh shit. Real Big Ant is from NYC. He's the first gay drill rapper.
Yes, I did. No problem. Have a wonderful day, Dina.
Make it, ring girl, make it. Hey, Prime members, Grubhub and Amazon have just the thing to help you save. You can get $0 delivery fees on eligible Grubhub orders. Like that snack haul for movie night. No delivery fees.
The fuck?
Those wings for game day. No delivery fees. And yes, that pasta for date night. No delivery fees. It's a dream deal. Visit Amazon.com/Grubhub to start saving. Terms and additional fees apply.
Oh, it's a good one. All right, here we go. Here we go. This is a great one. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. This is a great
Highly
one.
market.
Okay. This is a great one. This is a great one. Oh my gosh. This is a great one.
What the fuck? about to end the stream. I didn't finish my fucking editing my video, bro. Damn. I wasn't as productive today as I'd like to be. I must make it up. And I have very little sleep that I can get, and so that I'm able to make up for the productivity that I missed. Going solar. Fly. Beyond it.